And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. And welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Thank you for tuning in live on a Wednesday night as we break down the latest here in the Inland Empire and the local sports scene. If you're watching this video, and I know you are, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. Coming up in this show, actually in just a moment, we're going to hear from Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels, the starting quarterback in the NFL, the Heisman Trophy winner, and the pride of Cajon High School, back home in his hometown of San Bernardino to spread some holiday cheer this Christmas season. So we're going to hear from Jayden in just a moment. And we've got Alexander Mattison, starting running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's going to check in with two more I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month for the month of November. So we got Jayden, we got Alex. A little bit later in the show, we're going to talk high school soccer with Arlington boys head coach Kevin Watson. The Lions graduated a great class from last season in which they reached the CIF Southern Section Open Division Championship match against Mater Dei. So how would the Lions respond this year with a lot of younger players getting significant minutes and playing time? Well, they just went out and won the prestigious Citrus Hill Winter Classic Tournament for the fourth year in a row. So Arlington right back to where they were last season. So we're going to check in with head coach Kevin Watson as well. We got our Big Boost Play of the Week and our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. But as promised, so this past Saturday, out at Cajon High School, quarterback Jayden Daniels was back home. Take a look. This was the scene out there at Cajon. It was a packed house, and there's the man of the hour. And you're probably wondering, well, how is he back in San Bernardino? He's in the middle of the football season. Well, the Washington Commanders had a late season bye, so they did not play this past weekend. So Jayden probably could have been doing a million different other things, but he came back home to San Bernardino, spreading a lot of Christmas cheer. Look at all those toys, all kinds of cool like Washington Commanders and football stuff too. He passed it all out. All those kids got something. Everyone had a big smile on their face. What a great way to give back to his community. And look at all the Washington Commanders jerseys. There's a lot of Washington Commanders fans now in San Bernardino and the Inland Empire because of Jayden. It was really cool to see him and catch up with him and talk about the NFL season, how it's been going for him so far this year, and his goals for the Commanders. Right now, they are in the thick of the playoff hunt in the NFC, and Jayden Daniels looks to be like the front runner for the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. So here's our exclusive interview with Jayden Daniels talking about not only his toy giveaway at Cajon High School, but also his rookie season with the Washington Commanders.
Inland Sports.
Well, guys, he's back. Quarterback Jayden Daniels back at Cajon High School for his toy drive here. And Jayden, I know you've been making big plays out there for the Washington Commanders, but what's it like being able to come home, able to see a lot of familiar faces, and doing something so impactful for the community?
It means the world to me. It means a lot. Something that I was big on, whenever I was blessed enough to make it, to give back to the community that poured into me and helped me get to the position I'm in today.
Now, I don't know if you saw it. You probably didn't. You're a busy guy. But I pulled up the video. I did an interview with you the summer before your freshman season at the Paloma Valley passing tournament. You were probably 14 at the time.
Yeah.
So rewind, 6-8 years ago. Did you ever imagine seeing yourself on a cutout, over there in a toy drive and everyone wearing jerseys with your name and number on it? What's it like for you?
It's surreal. It's crazy. Just everybody has seen the growth over the years to now. But that's something that I had a dream. My dad helped me out with it. My mom and everybody, my whole family, everybody that's here today helped me in certain ways to achieve this dream.
Why was it important to you to continue to do things here in the community of San Bernardino? Because you're right in the middle of the NFL season. You could probably be doing a million different other things. But why is it important that you still do stuff like this?
Just to give back hope and inspiration to the city. I wish growing up I had somebody that was like a role model from San Bernardino that made it and that played in the NFL. Obviously, I had guys that end up making it.
Yeah.
You got Alex, Kenny Clark, all those type of guys, even though they're a little older than me. But just be able to come out here and talk to the little kids and take pictures, have fun with them, to get that joy and inspiration and that hope to the city.
All right, and finally, Jayden, what are the goals for the rest of the season for Washington? I'm assuming it's playoffs and maybe a division title. What's the goals?
Finish out the season strong. Hopefully, obviously we want to win every game that we can, but finish the season strong, give ourselves the best shot, to hopefully be in the playoffs.
All right, that's former Cajon Cowboy Jayden Daniels back at Cajon High School. All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Jayden. Really appreciate the interview. Good catching up with him. And again, in an NFL bye week, and they've got some important games coming up for Washington as they make that playoff push. But he still came back home to San Bernardino to give back and spread that holiday cheer to his local community. And Jayden's not the only guy. In fact, he even mentioned it. There were some other guys that kind of paved the way for him, specifically Alexander Mattison from San Bernardino High School and Kenny Clark from Carter High School. Both those guys made it big time to the NFL and always come back. They're always donating. They're always doing things for the local community. And Alex, one of the many things that he's been doing, even though he's now with the Las Vegas Raiders, he continues to give back here in San Bernardino. And one of them is the I Am Gifted Athlete of the Month. Now, last year, we did an I Am Gifted Athlete of the Week just for the fall season. But Alex was like, that's not enough. We got to do it all school year long. So that's exactly what we're doing. It'll be monthly. And Alex checks in every single month, picking a boy and a girl from his hometown of San Bernardino as his I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month. So for the month of November, Alexander Mattison from the Las Vegas Raiders, take it away.
Hey, what's up? It's Alexander Mattison, running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's time for us to acknowledge two more outstanding student athletes for the I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month. For the girls, I Am Gifted Athlete of the Month in November, we have Indian Springs volleyball standout Giselle Castellanos. Not only is Giselle an I Am Gifted Athlete of the Month award winner from last season, but she came back even better this year, leading the Coyotes to their first league championship and earning Mountain Valley League MVP honors. Indian Springs went to the second round in CIF for the second consecutive season. Congratulations, Giselle. And for the boys, the honor goes to San Bernardino water polo goalkeeper Luis Montiel. Luis led the Cardinals to CIF Southern Section Division VI championship, including a dramatic 9-8 win versus Montclair in the finals. It's the first time CIF title has come back to San Bernardino for more than 30 years. Luis finished with 274 saves on the season and was also field player for the Cardinals as he collected 93 steals. Congratulations, Luis. I'll see you guys next time with 2 more I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month. Happy holidays.
All right, congratulations to Giselle and Luis, your I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month for the month of November. And Alex will be back in a couple of weeks next month with your December Athletes of the Month. And now we're going into the winter sports. So, Giselle was volleyball and Luis was water polo. So now we'll get to the winter sports. Soccer, basketball, wrestling, water polo as well. So awesome to see Alex checking in, even during the football season, like Jayden. Jayden doing a toy drive during the NFL season. Alex is in the middle of the season with the Raiders as well, and he's still doing this stuff to give back. So that's really cool to see. All right, and we had some big football news. Riverside City College head coach Tom Kraft is calling it a career. Coach Kraft telling the team that he is retiring after 13 seasons at the helm of the Tigers program. Those 13 seasons, they won 11 conference championships. They won state titles in 2019 and last season in 2023. He is going into the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame this upcoming spring, and it was a heck of a run, a legendary run for Tom Kraft and RCC in the last 13 seasons. And right there, you saw him next to him. That's his son, Kevin Kraft. Kevin was the offensive coordinator for the Tigers this past season, and there's no official word yet. They're going to begin a nationwide search for Coach Kraft's replacement, but Kevin Kraft, his son, sure looks like a good fit to take over the program if they choose to go in that direction. That was Coach Kraft talking to the team after their final home game of the season. They beat San Diego Mesa in the Southern California semifinals in that dramatic comeback, a comeback for the ages. And then they went on to play for the Southern California Championship on the road at Mount Sac, and they lost that game 37-35, which would ultimately be Coach Tom Kraft's final game as the head coach at RCC. A historic run to really put RCC on the map, not only at the state level, but also a couple national championships. When you look at those national rankings at the end of the season, RCC finishing number 1 a couple of times under Coach Kraft. All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. We got our Big Boost Play of the Week, and it has to do with the Arlington soccer team. We'll check in with Lions head coach Kevin Watson next on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, number 1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Here are 3 tips for improved sleep for student athletes. Number 1, try not to perform any activities in your bedroom besides sleeping. This associates your bedroom with sleep. Number 2, only go to your bed when you're really sleepy and after a routine. This way, when you see your bed, you'll think of sleep. Number 3, if you can't sleep, get out of your bed or bedroom. This way, you can prevent your bed or bedroom from becoming a wakeful trigger. Sleep plays an important role in your development as a student and athlete. So if you want to play at your best, get some rest. Boost Man.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Right now we're talking some high school soccer, and we're already getting into some league matches. In fact, without giving away all of our secrets here, next week's Kin Sporting Goods must-see game will be a soccer match because we will begin league play next week before the Christmas break. With that said, though, there's a lot of holiday tournaments, Christmas tournaments right now, which are measuring sticks for a lot of teams out there to find out where they're at, what they're good at, maybe what they're not so good at, so they can get better before league play and ultimately a CIF championship run. For the Arlington Lions, last year's season well documented. We covered them a lot last year. We had a special Friday night pep rally on Riverside TV when they went to the CIF Southern Section Open Division Championship match. And they won 25 consecutive matches to get to that point. Well, they lost a lot of great players, but head coach Kevin Watson, he's got some real young up-and-comers, and they are learning that learning curve, maybe not so steep because they are learning quickly on the job and picked up a huge tournament victory at the prestigious Citrus Hill Winter Classic, which is arguably the best or one of the best tournaments you will find in the IE. Inland Sports. And that's our Big Boost Play of the Week. Arlington getting past a penalty kick shootout against Valley View is 3-3 in regulation. They win in PKs. They went all the way to the championship match against Citrus Hill. Is there a better rivalry in high school soccer right now than Arlington versus Citrus Hill? They've met 3 years in a row for the Winter Classic title out there at Citrus Hill High School, and the Lions get the job done again. 3-1 the final score in the championship match as Arlington is your Citrus Hill Winter Classic champions for the 4th year in a row, but the 3rd year in a row that they played Citrus Hill head-to-head. And what's crazy now is, remember, Arlington left the River Valley League to join the Ivy League, and Citrus Hill left the Mountain Pass League to join the Ivy League. So the biggest rivalry in high school boys soccer, we're going to get it at least 2 more times in the next couple of weeks as they play head-to-head in Ivy League action. It is going to be awesome. Those are 2 of the top programs with a high level of soccer. And that 3-1 victory was our Big Boost Play of the Week for the Lions. So I got wind that Arlington won that tournament again, so of course I hit up head coach Kevin Watson. I was like, Coach, let's talk about that tournament and also upcoming Ivy League play. Man, the Ivy League, there might be some arguments for a couple other leagues out there in the IE, but the Ivy League is probably the most competitive and toughest league in boys soccer. Besides Citrus Hill and Arlington, which are 2 of the top programs, bar none, across the state. You got Poly in there. I don't want to leave anybody out, but Poly is in there. Valley View, Coach Cush is back at Valley View. They won a CIF title with him about a decade ago. I think Paloma Valley and Hemet are also in the Ivy League. It is tough. There is some great soccer top to bottom in the Ivy League. But it all starts with the Arlington Lions, your runner-up in the CIF Southern Section Open Division playoffs last season. And guess what? The Lions are back on the grind, and they look like they're back where they want to be, back competing for CIF titles, back competing for league championships, even though they're in a tougher Ivy League now. Here's Arlington head coach Kevin Watson.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, fresh off a Citrus Hill tournament title. It is Arlington head coach on the boys' side, Kevin Watson. And coach, first off, is that 4 Citrus Hill titles in a row now?
Yeah, fourth one and the 3rd year in a row for Citrus Hill in the final.
Man, that is a rivalry, and now we actually get to see that in league play now. I'm excited for that you guys are I mean, you're already rivals, but now we get to see you guys play in league play in a couple of weeks too, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree on you where I want to see these guys another 2 times. But yeah, the Ivy League was in full display because obviously we had Valley View in the semifinals, and then you have Citrus in the finals, and now we all got to beat up on each other during conference play. So it should be fireworks, man.
All right, and correct me if I'm wrong too. I do want to talk about the tournament, but I think you have Valley View. Is it next week? Like league play already begins, and I think it was like a 3-3 match against the Eagles at the tournament.
Yeah, we open up Ivy League at home on the 19th. Versus Valley View, yeah. So talk about just like a massive task, and what a way to open up our return to the Ivy League.
All right, Coach, let's go back to the tournament because we had a chance to talk before the season began. And you said, obviously this team has some talent, but there's a lot of young players that really going to have to step up. You lost some really good players, to graduation from last season's team, that went to the Open Division Championship. Are you pleasantly surprised? Like, what do you think of this squad so far through the first couple of matches in that Citrus Hill title?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, when we're down 2-0 Valley View, I was like, okay, this is who we are, right? But I think the message for the boys has been pretty straightforward. Just on, we talked about changing the narrative a little bit. I think what we're seeing is, everybody's just thinking, hey, Arlington's done. We had a massive class graduate and an amazing class of boys. But what I've been preaching is like, guys, like DNA is forever. Culture is something that is concrete in us and something that we preach. And, I tell them it's not always the most talented kids. It's the kids that, buy in. And I think they saw that in the Valley View game. We had some things on our side, but, they had some grit and some adversity. And I think, as long as we can continue on that path, we're going to be a tough team. And I think we have changed the narrative. I think pro saying, okay, yeah, right. Arlington had an unbelievable year last year, unbelievable class. But I'm like, hey, man, don't forget about who we are. We have the DNA, and we have a culture of great kids, a great campus. And, I think that needs to be, shown with this next group of boys.
Mm-hmm. Coach, is it safe to say that, being a couple goals down to Valley View and coming back to earn that 3-3 draw, was that in some respect a little more impressive than even winning that championship match? Take Citrus Hill out of the equation, but just winning the championship match 3-1, but seeing your team fall down by a couple goals, but having that resiliency to battle back, to really show you something, like you said, like, oh, is this who we're going to be this year? And they corrected the course and they came out with a draw.
While you're saying that, I'm getting chills in my arms just because I told them this is why you play high school athletics. You get these moments underneath the lights with your friends, and with us in Valley View, I mean, we've done that so many times. It's either them, us. I feel like it's such a respected, rivalry amongst the two of us and the staffs, and Cush is back on staff with Valley View, so there's a little history there because when I first started, that's who the head coach was, but and they also have an alumni assistant coach like coach. But yeah, I was really, really proud of the boys, to answer your question, just because we could easily folded, given it up. And what's funny is we went down 2-0, we tie it 2-2, and then we actually went down 3-2 on another mistake, and then we were able to equalize at the death. And it just shows what you can do when you're committed, and you hold your teammates accountable, and just keep on fighting. And we try to preach on being a gritty group, and that's all it was, because we didn't play to our best, but that's credit to Valley View and what they do. They're a very talented group, but I was very, very happy to come through with that. And then we had a freshman come up with 2 massive saves and the penalty shootout. So, but that's a testament to the boys. They bought in and they deserved, their effort because, at one point I was like, man, this is going to be one of those nights, right? We're going to have to chalk this one up and use this as a learning tool. And then all of a sudden it flipped. And now we're talking about a night to remember so far, probably their best memory thus far for their high school senior year.
Coach, with so many young players playing critical roles, is this non-league portion of the season, these early season tournaments, are they even more important this season just so you can find out what you got and get these guys, some significant minutes out there?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I got Harvard Westlake, Modern Day, Los Al. I don't know. Some people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I just we used to never be able to get these games, and now we can. So I think what we've decided as a group and speaking to my leaders is we want to play these big marquee games versus the private schools, and we want to be that program in the Inland Empire and particularly Riverside where student athletes that want to play these games, we're going to get them. We're going to get them because of respect and what some of our alumni have done. I think obviously winning definitely builds confidence. So that was a good start for Citrus Hill, but I also, by design, when I put these teams in the schedule, I was thinking, hey, we got to be ready for the Ivy League. I think this Ivy League is going to be by far the best league in our region in regards to the Inland region. It's hard to argue between you start looking at the teams that are in this conference. But so my hope is these non-conference games will get us prepared for what will be critical moments versus the entire Ivy League.
Yeah, I didn't know Coach Cush was back at Valley View. When I came onto the scene in the IE, which was like 2011, 2012, I think he was the head coach there. And Valley View was like one of the top programs in the IE. He had some really good teams.
Oh, yeah, man. He definitely was extremely successful when I first hit the scene. And, it was, I mean, Valley View forever has been an absolute gem of a program with talent, and excited to see him back helping out. But I think it's only going to be a benefit for them. So just another added layer to the depth of what the Ivy League is going to see this year.
And Coach, I'm not trying to leave anybody out, but obviously Citrus Hill, it's well documented what they've been able to do. Great program. We just saw Poly win the Norta Vista tournament that was going on at the same time. So, I mean, the Ivy League, we've talked about this too. At least in my book, the toughest league in all of the Inland Empire. I mean, it might be one of the toughest in the southern section.
Yeah, I was talking to my admin today, AD and our principal. It's like, the success of the Citrus Hill tournament is excellent, and I'm so proud. But I mean, we could be the 4th seed in the Ivy League. I mean, I think everybody is. I think I would say they're respectfully just going into it and say, guys, every game is going to be like a final because of the depth of the league. I mean, even Hemet and Paloma Valley, you look at them historically and what they've done, they're going to be strong too. So. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to get the Poly rivalry back. That was my matchup when I was a student here at Arlington. So I think that's important for the students. And you see it at the football games. Those in-city rivalries are the best games, especially between RESD schools, just because there's so many friendships and so many connected families and family trees that are connected to the schools. And I'm glad that we're able to at least bring one of those back.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, man. I cannot wait for league play. And we don't have to wait very long because, as we just mentioned, next week you guys will take on Valley View to kick off Ivy League play. That is Arlington head coach Kevin Watson here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. And congrats on that Citrus Hill title. Absolutely, Pep. Great seeing you, and hope to see you soon. All right, that's Kevin Watson, the head coach of the Arlington boys soccer team here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And all right, here's the deal. If you're watching us live on Wednesday night, the Arlington boys soccer team is on the pitch right now. They're playing their home opener against Adelanto. I have not seen a score so far, but hopefully the Lions are picking up a big win in their first home match of the season. So big thanks to head coach Kevin Watson for the interview. When we come back, we'll talk a little high school basketball and a little volleyball as well. I know the season just wrapped up, but we'll hear from Arroyo Valley head coach Jose Barajas in just a moment when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. We'll be right back after this. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Parents, is it time for you to find another organization or club for your athlete? Now, before you switch it up, ask yourself these questions. Is your child missing practices? Do they have a bad attitude that's evident through body language? Are they running to you instead of talking to their coach? Are they stubborn about playing different positions? Do you sometimes question your child's effort during practice or competition? Are you, the parent, constantly harassing the coach? Now, if you answered no to all these questions, then maybe your boy, Boost Man.
96.7 KCal rocks. It is time to talk a little sports on a Monday. Make your Monday better with our guy, Pep. Pep, what's going on?
Hey, Patrick, speaking of making things better, I just want to give a quick local shout out to our guy, Jayden Daniels, the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. The Commanders right now are in the thick of the playoff chase. I mean, they are surpassing all these expectations with a rookie quarterback in Jayden. They're right there in the hunt for a playoff spot, but they were on a bye week. So Jayden Daniels could have been doing a million different things during his bye week, vacationing, resting, whatever. But he was back in his hometown of San Bernardino doing a toy giveaway for the local community. It was just awesome to see him here this weekend. And again, it's not like Washington is, out of the playoff hunt. They're right there in the middle of it. They've got big games coming up, but he still came back home to make sure that he was giving back to his community on his spare week, a week where he had nothing, a bye week for the Commanders.
I follow Inland Sports, and I saw it, Pep, on your Instagram. It was so cool, man. And clearly, just like you've been pointing out, something that's important to him.
All right, let's get to the NFL games over the weekend. Patrick, you already know what I'm going to say, so I'm going to say it anyways. The Kansas City Chiefs are the luckiest team I have ever seen. And what did they do? They kick a game-winning field goal that they call the old doink, right? Where it doinks off the post of the field goal and still falls in somehow. And that's exactly how they beat the Chargers to clinch the AFC West title. I thought to myself, I looked at my wife, I'm like, I told you, I don't make this stuff up. I don't want it to be true, but it is. They're the luckiest team I've ever seen.
I was so excited to come in and do sports with my guy Pep because the whole family is watching it with me. And when it doinked at first, I was like, oh, and then when it went in, I go, oh, I already know where Pep's going.
Of course it did.
Great. They go, they are the luckiest SOBs.
If that was my 49ers and it hit the post, no good. That thing was no good. They would have lost. But it's the Chiefs, and somehow the magic and power of Taylor Swift, I don't know what it is, man. It went through, and they beat the Chargers. What is that, 9 straight AFC West titles now for Kansas City? They don't look great, but they still win almost every single game.
The NFL script turned the fans on and blew that thing into the goalpost, didn't it?
Inland Sports.
Hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCal 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. You can look for that. But right now we're talking about our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. And for the last, I think it was week 00 when Beaumont and Redlands played football games in Hawaii. That was week 00, which was the middle of August. I think it was like August 12th and 13th or somewhere right around there. And ever since then, our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game has been football. So however many, 4 months straight? Well, now we're in the winter sports, so we're going to mix in some basketball and some soccer. And in our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week is, Centennial taking on Rancho Christian, 2 of the top teams in the IE going head-to-head at Centennial on Friday night. Now, you might look at their records and their schedule. They've both played some really good teams in non-league action. So probably a lot better than what the record indicates, but traditionally, they've got some great teams. Of course, head coach Josh Giles at Centennial has done the Inland Sports Show a bunch of times, and we always appreciate that. So that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Centennial taking on Rancho Christian Boys Hoops on Friday.
This is Centennial boys basketball coach Josh Giles, and you are watching the Inland Sports Show.
Yeah, that was our guy, Josh Giles, right there. You're watching the Inland Sports Show. We went out there and did a big boost, gridiron question and a couple 2-cent segments out there with Coach Giles at Centennial. That was a lot of fun. All right, and finally here on IEMG Sports Weekly, in case you missed it, we had a really cool interview with Arroyo Valley girls volleyball coach Jose Barajas. I should say just volleyball because he's going to be coaching the boys as well. But Jose just came from San Gorgonio. He was playing at San G. He graduated. Arroyo Valley was in need of a coach, and he was, kind of popular on the club circuit. And even though he's a young guy, he stepped right in and led Arroyo Valley to the CIF Southern Section semifinals in Division 10. First time the Hawks have ever made it to the semifinals. So if you're looking for the complete interview with Coach Barajas, you can find that on IEMG. But here's a little bit of our conversation. Now, Jose, were you nervous at all? Were you like, oh man, I'm not ready for this? Or were you like, you know what? I am ready. I'm going to jump, full on in, and I'm going to embrace this opportunity because not a lot of people get this, a chance like this. What was your feeling like going into it?
It was actually a little bit of everything. I knew I was ready for it because volleyball is my passion. It's like since I started high school, it consumed my life, playing club, learning everything I can about it, visiting colleges, like everything it consumed my life. So I knew I was ready for the challenge, just going in and knowing that all of those girls, their future was in my hands was the big part that really shocked me and had me for a second where I don't know if I'm ready for this, but if Mr. Howell had the faith in me to hire me, and then Mr. Castro coming from Bloomington to Royal had the faith to keep me, then that's what I had the faith, and I was going to go along and see how the process happened.
All right, Coach, so let's get to the season. So you guys make it to the semifinals. It was, Division 10? Was that correct? Division 10 semifinals. I mean, was this a pleasant surprise? When you started the season, did you think, oh, man, I hope we just win a couple matches? Or did you think, hey, we got a pretty good team. Like maybe we can make the playoffs. Maybe we can make a playoff run. Now that the season is in the rearview mirror, are you surprised? Were you pleasantly surprised? Were you expecting this? Like, what was your thoughts on the season?
I think surprise is like an understatement. Like it's far more than surprised. I know me and my AD, we had a talk at the start of the season. He was like, yeah, just from previous years, we just want to see a few wins this season, see these girls build a relationship, like let's start building a program from the start up. And then it came up, we played a tournament over the summer at Rancho, and we played against these schools at Division 5, Division 6. Like we were honestly getting blown out the whole tournament because it's some big girls, high level competition. But we competed there, and then I know we had a talk, and we were like, it might be a decent team. I think league is something we could look forward to, but we always just kept the goal, let's get some wins, let's move on, let's work through the season, let's build a program, let's think 2 years ahead, 3 years ahead, not a league title in 2 months.
Yeah.
But going into CIF, the CIF, like making a run wasn't something we thought about until when we found out the new rankings and how the whole process worked with the team. So then once we found that out, we knew we were going to make a run. There was countless times at practice where he'd show up, he'd watch us play, or I'd go visit him, and it was just we're going far. We knew that we were for sure making it past round 1, round 2. These girls had the confidence, they played how they needed to, and there was nothing stopping us.
It's a big playoff wins. I think you beat Ganesha in the quarterfinals, and then you go on the road in the semis. I mean, you went about as far as you can go in the Southern Section when you went to Coast Union in the D10 semifinals. I know probably in that moment right after the Coast Union match, it was probably bittersweet, because you never want to end your season with a loss, but it happens for most teams. But what was the message to your girls, to the team that, there was so much to be proud of? Like, it was such a great season. You surpassed so many, expectations, and you set the bar for future teams now to Royal Valley. What was kind of your message to the team once the season was finished?
As you said, it was a bittersweet moment because we went 5 hours on the road. We wanted to win. A win would have meant we would have hosted the championship match too at Arroyo. But the talk after it was actually during the game because we were down 2-0. And I told them there was a lot of emotions going on. The girls couldn't focus. They couldn't concentrate. I told them, take a moment, look around. We're 5 hours from home. We're in a Division 10 CIF Southern Section semifinal. You have nothing to be sad about, nothing to worry about. We've stressed all season trying to prove everybody wrong that we're not a school that just has volleyball and that we can't be a powerhouse, that we can't build a program. And look at where you're at now.
All right, so that was just a little bit of the interview, just a teaser to send you over to the Inland Empire Media Group. That is IEMG. You can find them on YouTube. If you live in the city of San Bernardino, you can also find them on Channel 3 on television as well. And that was Jose Barajas, the Arroyo Valley volleyball coach. Big thanks to our guests tonight. Of course, Jayden Daniels, the interview from his toy giveaway this past Saturday. We had Alexander Mattison, Raiders running back, with his I Am Gifted Athletes of the Month for November. And Kevin Watson, the head soccer coach for the Arlington boys side, off to a great start and playing right now. So, Coach, I told you I would send you the link to the show, and I will. I just didn't want to bug you because you're coaching right now against Adelanto, and hopefully it's going to be a big Lions victory. And thanks for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. And we will probably do a show. In fact, we will do a show next week because I already booked one of the guests. I'll just go ahead and say it. We're going to have Harupa Hill's new football coach, Cade Sparks. He's going to join us here on the Inland Sports Show. So we will do a show next week, which would be, what is that, December 18th, and then we will probably be dark for at least 2 weeks. Probably post some stuff on social media in case there's some games going on over the Christmas break, but we'll probably go dark for at least 2 weeks, and then we'll ramp back up once the league play really begins in January for high school basketball and high school soccer. That's going to do it. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.